Well, now we are moving to Capernaum for the great Galilean ministry. And this is a phase of Jesus' ministry where the Galileans really listened to Jesus and they heard what he had to say. That is opposed to when he went to Jerusalem, when we will find that he was really under great pressure when he went to Jerusalem, and his words were not well heard. So this is a great teaching ministry of the life of Jesus. Much of it is told in the book of Matthew, and the Sermon on the Mount would be a centerpiece of what Jesus is wanting us to learn about life. And we all know that the Sermon on the Mount is based upon the 10 Commandments, which are to love God and love our neighbor. So as we look at the Capernaum ministry, we will use the letter C to code events in this life. And the first C that I want to talk about is come, follow me. We all know that Jesus called disciples when he was in Capernaum to come follow him. And disciples would leave their fishing nets. Levi would leave his tax collector job to become a disciple of Jesus. And the great disciple Peter would drop his nets and come follow Jesus. And so all of us have to think about dropping our nets and coming and following Jesus and learning from Jesus, because a disciple is one who learns from another. And these disciples were to sit at Jesus' feet and travel with him and learn about life. And that is what we want to do as disciples of Jesus. Now, the next C's in the Capernaum ministry are really the Sermon on the Mount. And the first C in the Sermon on the Mount is the whole idea that we want to have the Beatitudes. And we want to change our attitude, because Jesus came really to change our attitude. We needed a new attitude, which are more based upon love and understanding. And there's an inward journey in the Beatitudes where we learn to mourn, meek, hunger, and thirst for righteousness. And then the outward journey, which is where we have to be merciful, pure in heart, peacemakers, and not be persecuted for the name of Jesus Christ. So the Beatitudes are really talking about us learning a new attitude, which is an attitude of worship and an attitude of following Jesus Christ and not being about our own wishes. And then we move to the Sermon on the Mount, phase 2 and 3. The first phase of the Sermon on the Mount is about commandments of love. Commandments to learn to love our neighbor, to love our enemies, and to learn to love those around us. And the second phase of the Sermon on the Mount is John 6 and John 7, where we're talking about constructing our life on the rock and learning to love God. Now, as we think about the commandments of love, Jesus is taking really the 10 commandments and restating them as laws of love. He talks about adultery and how we are not to be involved in adultery, and the importance of marriage and the importance of two becoming one in marriage. He talks about the whole idea of anger, that we are not to have anger, but we are learning to love others and not express our anger, and that our tongue can be an anger point, that we have to really learn to use our tongue wisely and not attack people. And the whole idea of loving our enemies, this is new. Jesus talks about that we have to learn to love our enemies, and what an important lesson that is in our society today, as we find our nation is often divided on different ideas, and we need to learn and we need to listen to others. And so we conclude the first lessons in Capernaum with come follow me, the Beatitudes, and then the commandments of love and the commandments of constructing on the rock. Jesus would conclude the Sermon on the Mount with two ideas. First, that we have to learn to not judge others, and that we're to rely on God to judge others, and we are not to be judges. And then we want to construct our life upon the rock of Jesus Christ, and how important construction on the rock will be when the storms of life come. And we all have storms in our life. We all have days that are difficult, and we need to cling to the rock of Jesus Christ and our Lord as he concludes the Sermon on the Mount, to learn to build our lives upon the rock of Jesus Christ. How great thou art.